in regards to Democrats who call themselves never Berniers, to people who, for some reason, refuse to support Bernie and are now hoping that Joe Biden will be the front runner to defeat Trump, I've got a few things to say to you. The first being,
what the hell is wrong with you?
Also, where do y'all get off saying Bernie isn't a Democrat? One, he can choose to be a Democrat whenever he pleases. Two, he is independent minded, but he chooses to be with Democrats when he runs for president. He's independent, but he leans to the Democrats. He caucuses with Democrats. He supports Democrats. He supported Obama. He supported Bill Clinton. He supported Hillary when he was cheated out of the nomination in interest of party unity. Plus, if we go to the charter of the Democratic Party, section 11, subsection A, the Democratic Party of the United States shall be open to all who desire to support the party and who wish to be known as Democrats. Basically, what that means is Bernie can identify as a Democrat whenever the hell he pleases. It doesn't matter. There's no test that he has to take. There's no amounts of time that he has to identify as a Democrat. He can be a Democrat whenever. He could literally become an independent the next day, and then become a Democrat the next day. It doesn't matter. As long as someone calls himself a Democrat, he's a Democrat. Just like if you're an idiot Republican, as long as you call yourself an idiot Republican, you're an idiot Republican. And also, what's with this all of a sudden this love of Biden for? Why is he? I've been told by many people, including Kyle from Secular Talk, that people who say he's ahead of Bernie is their opinion. They're surveying older people who are okay with the establishment. Let me tell you something. Why I don't like Biden. I don't want Biden as my president. He's establishment. He bragged that he was buddies with segregationists. He wants to cut Medicare and Social Security. He's creepy and he can't keep his hands off girls. You know that shit about Clinton? Oh, wait. You know that shit about Trump grabbing by the well, what if he grabs him by the shoulders and kisses him? I'm like, what? No. He pretends that millennials aren't struggling, saying, "Give me a break." He praises the TTP. In 2018, he bragged about rigging the Ukrainian political system, which is something that the Russians are being accused of doing to us. His 2020 platform is anti-populism. A magazine said, quote, Biden is positioning himself as the antidote to populism in all its forms and flavors. I'm a populist. I'm for left-wing populism. He claims that Bernie is too hard on millennials. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We, I think, if not hard enough, I think Bernie is appropriately hard on billionaires. They have been coddled long enough. But of course, Biden, who probably would take corporate PAC money, is saying, "Oh, Bernie is being too hard on billionaires." In October 2018, he was paid $200,000 to back Republican Fred Upton. He committed plagiarism while he was running for president back in 1988. Yeah, he had to resign. He plagiarized some British guy about the average the schmo the average schmo what Jon Stewart said was called the average schmo speech. It's like, I grew up hard. Why am I the first person of my family to go through college? A British person said that, and Joe Biden plagiarized it. And then he had to resign once he was called out. And that was before the internet even existed, or at least in its current form. And he claims that he is the most progressive candidate. Oh, shit. And look, I'm not here to dog Joe Biden for, what he did as vice president. Look, the vice presidency, although it has virtually no power, it is an important role. and he fulfilled it greatly. You know, he did. He helped Obama push important legislation. He was there in this presiding over Senate when he announced the Affordable Health Care Act to be passed.
The yeas are 60, the nays are 39. H.R. 3590, as amended, the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act is passed.
And of course, he did other things. He gave speeches, filled in for Obama. Rallied for, and did the whole raise your right hand to be sworn in as a senator after the elections. What and he and I'm pretty sure that although I'm pretty sure this didn't happen, there were no tie votes because I'm pretty sure because of Republican maneuvering. But if there had been a tie vote, Biden would have done his duty to both the Democratic Party and these United States of America. But his time is coming. The time of the Democratic establishment has come and gone. It is time for a change in America. We cannot campaign like the 90s anymore. Now, I will admit that Bill Clinton could not have campaigned for president like Bernie Sanders campaigned today. The 90s the 90s and 2000s was when the establishment had its firm grip on American politics. But as I said, those times have come and gone. It's time for change in America. A time for Bernie. Our revolution is here. It is now. It is enough with the establishment politicians who only care about the status quo, filling up their wallet and just keeping the peace. It's time to rattle some skulls. It is time to make sure that our kids can have affordable education, affordable healthcare, or Medicare for all, to where we can be more concerned with jobs and education, not jails and incarceration. We should live in a country where black kids and white kids like me don't have to be afraid of when the blue flashing lights appear behind us. We shouldn't have to go into debt just to get a good job or get a good education. Or 45,000 Americans die each year because they don't have access to health care. Every country in Europe, every developed country in the on planet Earth has all these things. They have full healthcare coverage, a generous pension, free daycare, long paid vacations, paid maternity leave, free college, public transportation that doesn't smell like piss, and they're not constantly at war. Why can't we have that? Why does being American mean we have to be different even in bad ways? It's like, oh yeah, we're so different. We are always at war. Denmark, Finland, Norway, France, they barely go to war. We're constantly at war. Oh, they have universal health care. We're different. We don't have health care. And Biden wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. I'm sorry, but no. I mean, it's like I'm not even old enough to use Social Security. I don't have the money to retire yet. My dad retired at 59. He's 60 now, turning 61. But I don't want his Social Security to be cut. Even if I moved out and I didn't, when I move out, and hopefully it'll be this year, fingers crossed. Even if I was completely independent of my father, I still don't want his Social Security to be cut. He lived a long and frankly, a shitty life, a shitty youth, you know, and he deserves every penny that he gets in his retirement now. But Joe Biden is of the establishment. Bernie Sanders actually cares about the people. I think one of the few reasons that people are against Bernie is he went up against Hillary. He divided the vote, yes. But now, because he went up against Hillary Clinton, he challenged the establishment, which Hillary is. And thankfully, she is staying out of it. He will say, well, we'll campaign for Democrats. Well, at least she's not running, because that would be stupid. But Bernie, his ideas, which was considered fringe in 2016, is now popular. It's mainstream. Also, he's a white male, an old white male. Because there are people who are still pushing identity politics. We need young women of color. Fuck you. We need people who are qualified, not people because they have this characteristic or that. I don't care that he's Jewish. I don't care that he's possibly an atheist. I think he's maybe an agnostic or a spiritual Jew. He has claimed to be proud of his Jewishness, but I think it's more ethnically. Like Jon Stewart is Jewish, and he doesn't claim to be religious, but he does claim to be Jewish. It's totally different from Bill Maher. Bill Maher is ethnically Jewish because of his mother, but he doesn't identify as one. He not at all. When he was talking about Jew, he said, "I can say it's because my mother is Jewish." He didn't say, "I can say it's because I am Jewish." He just said because his mother is. But anyway, I don't care. Bernie Sanders is not a socialist. He's a social democrat. I guess because I don't know why he calls himself socialist, because I guess it was popular at the time when he first started calling himself that. And Bernie Sanders is consistent. He does not change a thing. The only thing that's changed is his physical appearance. Yeah, he doesn't look as good as he did in the 80s, but he's still awesome. I am voting for Bernie Sanders. I don't care who you are. I don't care what dirt he did. I don't care about that shirtless video of him in the Soviet Union. So he sang with a bunch of Soviets while he was drunk. What are you supposed to do when you're drunk on vodka? Just just sit there and go, I would destroy you all. I don't know. I don't care that he's an old white man. And also, people want to complain about his age but then support Biden, even though Joseph Biden is literally 1 year younger. Seriously. Bernie Sanders was born in September of 1941. Joseph Biden was born in December of 1942. I mean, November of 1942. They're a year younger. I mean, they're a year apart. Who cares? Oh, and also that thing about people sexually harassing. Someone on his team was sexually harassing people. He can't control them. He didn't know about that. He didn't know about that until basically after the fact. He doesn't have this like Aquaman style control of people. I don't know anything about Aquaman as far as I heard. He can talk to fish. I don't know, but I mean, I saw the movie on a date. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Sort of like a video game, one objective, then I was actually expecting Chris Hemsworth, but I'm tired of this never Bernie, and especially that he's never been a Democrat. He can choose to be a Democrat whenever he pleases, and I don't care. I don't care if like as soon as he wins the election, he says I'm no longer a Democrat. I'm an independent. I don't care. I don't care. I want Bernie. I want Bernie One Kenobi as my president. I want Bernie Sanders, man. And not just because he got me personally $15 an hour, or because he met my girlfriend. Yeah, my girlfriend met him while he was campaigning the first time in 2016 when she was still living in Kentucky. But I want him because he's a man of the people. He doesn't care about corporate billionaires. He doesn't care about the establishment. He doesn't take corporate PAC money. He is a true progressive, a true man of the people. And if you're too bought by an establishment, if you're too bought into identity politics to see that, if you are just so into this, he has to be this way or that way, then there's no hope for you. You're too far gone. You are as too far gone as the MAGA cult. You are just like the Trump people. Maybe not as maybe not as batshit crazy as MAGA cult, but you're just as hypocritical as just plain stubborn, just spiteful. That's what I'm saying. You're just as spiteful as the MAGA cult. There will be always be people on the MAGA cult side or the Republican side who will be against, say, like let's say John McCain was alive today. Let's say John McCain lived to a ripe old age of, well, he was old, 99. Let's say John McCain lived to 99. There would still be people who would hate him because he opposed him, because he opposed Trump. There's be people who hate Ted Cruz because he opposed Trump. And I don't understand why Ted Cruz just cucks himself to Trump. I mean, the guy insulted his wife. That's strike number one. Insinuated that his father was involved in JFK's murder. That's number two. And just insults him, lying Ted. Just Ted Cruz is a partisan hack. But I don't understand why people. What does Bernie? What has Bernie done? What has Bernie done that makes you hate him so much? Other than he's not. He ran against Hillary, and he he's not a Democrat. But as I said, he has a right to challenge Hillary in 2016 because that's his right as an American. She's not the heir to parent, and even in this book, there was talks of Jeb Bush running, and Hillary Clinton running. That's the son and brother of former presidents, and the wife of a former president. Right? Talk about dynasties. That's what it says. He has a right to run for president, even if it's against the heir apparent. And Joseph Biden, he had his chance in 2016. So many presidents have run for office while they were the incumbent vice president. Hubert Humphrey, Warren G. Harding. No, wait, not Warren G. Harding. Martin Van Buren. I'm sorry. Thomas Jefferson, John Adams. Not in chronological order. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Martin Van Buren, Richard Nixon, Hubert Humphrey, uh, John C. Breckinridge, uh, you know, George H.W. Bush, Al Gore. So many incumbent vice presidents have run for office while they were still the vice president. Some of them even won, with the late Bush Sr. being the last, although Al Gore should have been president. I'm not saying he's the best. I'm just saying that one, he is definitely better than Bush, and two, the election was stolen from him. Why is it that the last four, this has happened 5 times, but the last 4 times that that someone won the electoral college vote but lost the popular vote, it was always Republicans winning the electoral college vote and therefore the presidency, but losing the popular vote. Democrats win the popular vote but lose the presidency. The last 4 times, that's how it was, including the last election. The Republican Party has only, between my birth and now, the Republican Party has only won the popular vote 1 time, and that was mostly a fear vote. It was, there's a war on, we gotta support our president, Bush, and also playing that, the vote for me or 9/11 will happen again, instead of thinking, why should I vote for you? 9/11 happened under your watch. But anyway, between 1992, before I was born, the year before I was born, and I was born in 93, and 2016, Republicans have only won the popular vote once, and that was only because of fear. But is enough with Biden, enough with Trump, enough with the establishment. Enough is enough. It is time for a change. I am tired of the status quo. I'm tired of the identity politics. I'm tired of the bitterness. I'm tired of the Hillary people. I'm tired of it. Shame on all of you. I'm not saying you have to vote for Bernie Sanders. Hell, go for Elizabeth Warren. If you have to do identity politics when it comes to the whole woman thing, go with Tulsi Gabbard. She's not a Christian. She's not white. She's not a male. She's progressive. And she was a war veteran. She fought in the war. And she's against it too. She's a veteran who is against anti-war and progressive. I don't think she'll win either vice president or president because she is a Hindu. I might have said this before in videos, but there is, a religious bias in this country that's still today, like how Kennedy faced the anti-Catholic thing and Obama faced the anti-Muslim thing, even though he's not a Muslim. I think there will still be people who will vote against her because of her Hindu. I don't know how to say it, and I have I have no say about that. I'm not saying anything wrong with being of the Hindi faith. I'm just saying. That's why I think she. That's why I think she will come across. That would be one of the difficulties she'll be facing. But I would be okay with having her as her or Elizabeth Warren as the vice president. Progressives. It is time for change in America. It is time for progressives. It is time for change we can believe in, a future we to believe in. Because, as Bernie said, it's not me, it's us. It's us together against the Trump people, against the Republicans who are basically saying their policy is deregulate, tax cuts for the rich, and you're on your own. That's basically Republicans are basically economic social Darwinists. They say, out of luck, you lose your job, tough luck, you're on your own. Economic hard times, you're on your own. They believe in survival of the fittest, every man for himself, and it's time we stop doing that. Yes, if you want a boat, if you want a big stupid boat, you got save money for yourself. But if you need brain surgery or something that will save your life, I don't think you. I think you should just get it, just like Bernie does. I'm just sick of all these never Bernie people. I'm sick of it. Stop it. I got work in the morning, so I'm gonna go head off to bed. I want everyone to stay out there and stay progressive. And as always, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you.